Hello, this is Dan. Welcome to a whole nother awesome review. Today I'll be reviewing Hemlock Grove Season 2. So in this season we find out a lot of things. We find out that Roman's real father was actually Norman. So that's one of the most important things in this season. And a lot of things are happening in this season. Dr. Price is trying to take Shelly and give her a new body and transfer her mind set to another body, basically. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in this season. At the beginning of the season, Miranda is kind of like the connection that starts everything here. Miranda is brought in there basically because she's kind of like a love triangle, you know, between Roman and Peter, because they're both basically in love with Miranda, and she's brought in there to make them friends again, basically, because they were not friends at the end of season 1. They were both so devastated over the death. Roman was devastated because of the death of his cousin, but we find out in this season that it was actually his sister, because Norman is his father. So there you go. A lot of really cool stuff happening in this season. We have Roman taking care of his baby, basically, and yeah, his baby's pretty messed up. You'll find out. And there's a lot of cool things going on in this season. Roman keeps the baby in a special room, away from everybody, kind of like because Olivia Godfrey wanted Roman to kill the baby at the end of season 1, of course, and Roman did not want to, and he did not want to kill the baby. So there you go. And we find out that it was actually Olivia Godfrey that had brainwashed Roman into having relations with his sister that he didn't know was actually his sister, but you find out in this one it was his sister. And she was the one that gave birth to his kid, basically. And, you know, his kid is a vampire, of course. And, yeah, there's a lot of really crazy stuff happening in this season. Roman doesn't want to be a vampire anymore, and he's taking treatments from Dr. Price, and he's trying to rid himself of being a vampire. And there's a lot of really cool things going on in here. Peter is he's trying not to turn on the wrong moon, but he's turning on the wrong moon a lot. Destiny's really worried about him. Destiny becomes a much bigger character in this season, of course. It's a really good season. I really enjoyed it. If I was to rate it out of 10, I would give it a 10 out of 10. I didn't enjoy the ending that much, but that being said, I other than that, I really like this season. I'm gonna give it a full 10 out of 10 because I just felt like the ending kind of like ended abruptly. There wasn't really a conclusion. You know it's gonna connect to season 3, basically. But I thought Miranda was a really cool character in this season, and I liked how they used her to connect Roman and Peter back again, because they were not friends. And you know, it was cool to see that, basically. Not to give away too much to what's going on here, but basically Roman is, you know, suffering from being a vampire, and his lust for blood is going out of the way crazy, and that's why he's trying to rid himself of being a vampire. But then at the end of the season, he kind of embraces it, which is really cool to see. Not going to give away what happens at the end or who the villain is or anything like that, because I do not want to spoil this season for you guys. But it is really a great season, and I really did enjoy it, and I would give it a 10 out of 10. I liked how they made Destiny a bigger character in this season, and also Norman, because they didn't have as big of roles in season 1 as they do in this season. And Norman figures out a lot of stuff, what's going on, and they got the whole cult thing going on too. Roman and Peter having the same dreams again, and they can predict things before they happen. They're trying to stop these freaking like murders going around, killing kids. I mean, there's a lot of gore in this show. Really good practical effects, actually. A lot of explosions. It's pretty badass, yeah. So, a lot of blood, actually, in this season. Crazy amount of blood. There's even a scene where Roman's like daydreaming and like you think he killed somebody, but he didn't. Not giving away anything there, but there's a lot of surprises going on this season where, you know, you may think it's a dream, but it might be reality and it might not, because it will surprise you. And of course they always have the messed up openings in Hemlock Grove, and then all of a sudden you hear the Hemlock Grove music, and that's how it gets into the intro. And that's what I love about this show. It's so fresh, and the best way to describe Hemlock Grove is like if Twilight didn't suck. That's what I tell everybody who watches this show. And I thought season 2 was just so great, you know. They had so many like cool concepts going on in this season, and it was just really great season. I suggest everybody to check it out. It's brutal to the core, stays true to horror, and I really liked it. So I can't wait for season 3. So please check it out. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10, and everybody have an awesome night.